G'day everyone, my name's Lee. Welcome back to the Fisherman's office, where I'll post weekly content for fishing videos and gear related ones just like this video here to get you inspired to get out and chase some fish. Without further ado, we're going through my bass tackle box today to see what lures I got. And stick around to the end of the video as I'll obviously go through rods and reels and line, and also a couple of tips if you're starting out fishing at Bluerock, as that's predominantly where I fish for Australian bass. Yeah, so I have tried out multiple different lures to chase bass with in Bluerock. First of all, starting out with actually TT spinnerbaits, which I have none left of. I lost them all since starting fishing Bluerock. Got to get a few more in the tackle box, but yeah. Spinnerbaits are a good one to start with. I don't have any to show you though. Next ones I've been trying are Keitech fat swing impacts, which are a 2.8 inch T-tail soft plastic. These are amazingly good. They've got a fantastic action, nice, real crazy tail wobble on them. You do get a bit of redfin bycatch on these, we've found, but they still catch a ton of bass as well. A really, really good lure. Don't have the longevity of your Zman, so you do go through a few lures, but they just catch fish, so it's worth having them anyway. When I'm getting a bit over getting snagged up, because you tend to get snagged up quite a bit in Bluerock, especially with the cover that's in there, a lot of timber, a lot of standing stumps and stuff like that you'll get caught up on, and a standard G head will snag up from time to time. I run the TT Snake Locks jigs, which are a EWG style, swiveling EWG style, and I'm running the custom Bad Shad Slim Swim 3 inch. Yeah, these run through the cover a little bit nicer and they don't get snagged up as much, so worth doing that. If you want to check out the video where I make this custom color, I'll leave a link up here as well for you. So that's that one. Moving on to other subsurface territory. This is something I haven't dabbled in nearly as much. I'm definitely looking at adding that string to my bow as well, which is jerk baits and crankbaits, and also swim baits as well. So micro swim baiting is something that I'd really like to get into for bass, so that's that. I've got a couple of jerk baits here. I've got like a duo style lure with I think it's an 80 or a 90 mil lure, just sort of that normal jerk bait sort of style. It's got a weight transfer system in this one, which has like a magnet that sticks it there. It's pretty cool. Actually, this has got a really good action as well. This one is a duo realis minnow, 100 SP, so suspending realis minnow. Really, really cool. Love the action of this lure, and yeah, just a bit bigger profile, and I hope to use this in some rivers as well after some bass too. I dare say some EPs would probably enjoy smashing that too. Moving towards the more of the crankbait scene, we got the JD Lures. I can't remember what this is. It's not the Dam Buster, it's another one. It sort of looks a little bit like a lip ripper. Russell will probably kill me for not remembering the name of it, but you get that. This is like a redfin pattern, very similar size to the redfin, a lot of the smaller redfin that are in the system. So sort of represents a forage item for sure. So that's that one. Yeah, these are good. They're fairly snag resistant as well. I like the hard bodies, these bump over the timber and over the snags and stuff pretty well also. So that's that one. Another one that's similar, that gets down a little bit deeper, is this Jack Deep, Rapala Jack Deep. This is slow floating, so you can get it right down deep, and then it'll just sort of sit there and it'll just slowly lift up along the tree there. So you can wind it right down near the tree and it'll just sit in their face. Get it in the right place where a bass is sitting. I dare say that he wouldn't be arguing about taking a chomp on that. So yeah, hence I got that in the tackle box. Another one that sort of represents a little bit of the forage that's inside of Bluerock, like your mosquito fish and Australian smelt. There's this laser AU Daiwa spike. No doubts this will catch fish if they're on a jerk bait or a crankbait bite there. So that is that one. Another one, which is a little bit of a shallower diving, a very similar colour, is the realis rozante 63 SP. I've been recommended to try this out in the rivers. Probably get some trout bycatch as well with this particular lure. I love this lure. It looks amazing. Yet to swim it though. This hasn't even seen water yet. Hoping to get out and change that soon. That looks awesome. Swim baits wise, I haven't got much. I've got a couple of Strike Pro micro swim baits, which I found I haven't got my head around how they swim in the lake yet. I've used them in the rivers, which they for trout, which I've enjoyed, yet to figure out using them in the lakes. I've got this one as well though. This is a Tiemco lonesome drifter, which is a micro micro glide bait, and I really want to see if I can get a bass on this. Just getting the that larger profile lure, I think, will weed out some of the smaller bites, similar to when I use my chatterbaits, and get some bigger bites. So I reckon that is going to catch something. More recent venture has been trying out jigs, and I'm really enjoying trying out the jigs at the moment, and hence why I bought a specific outfit just for them. These are Keitech jigs, so they're a football jig, 1/4 ounce. So this is the lightest weight that my jig rod's built to throw. So not so easy to cast with my rod, just as on the lighter end. It probably prefers a little bit more weight, but these are fantastic though. The way they sit, they pulsate in the slightest bit of water movement, and you can just sit there and you're just sort of feeling like tugging on the end of the on the line. You just feel that tension pop, and these things just dance around in the bottom. Like, these look amazing. Jigs are fantastic. They just really are. You fish them slow as buggery, but they're just awesome. So yeah, that's that one. That's a color I haven't really used much of. This black and blue, and black and blues are a staple Bluerock color, is what I got my first jig fish on. That's that one there. So yeah, exactly the same football jig, guys, just different color. Heavier lure, lead hybrid jig, which is a Pros factory jig. That's this one here. These are pretty cool too. I've got a couple of nibbles on this particular jig, not actually hooked up yet on one. So, but again, a little bit bigger profile. Hopefully weed out some of the smaller bites if possible. And that's that. This has got a Keitech Crazy Flapper trailer on it. These appendages here on the bottom are amazing. On the drop, they just do this. Like, they're just woo, crazy, absolute, well, hence the name Crazy Flapper. They flap around like mad and look amazing. These are actually also really awesome on the redfin, just with like a nail bomb decoy, nail bomb just flicking around the redfin dams. They absolutely crawl on these. So yeah, worth getting the Keitech Crazy Flappers as well. Moving on to surface lure territory, I'll go through all of them. I've got a what's this one called again? Overreal 63 wake. Haven't caught anything on this lure. It's an OSP lure, but the action on this is amazing. And if they're on some minnows and stuff like that, again along the edge bite, I reckon these are gonna get destroyed. Another one I haven't caught any fish on yet, which is surprising to me, is this micro pompadour. Micro pompadours are mad. They look awesome. They pretty much behave exactly like another pompadour, like the bigger versions. Real noisy, crazy, good search bait. Cover a lot of space and ground with these things. So yeah, I reckon I'll get a river fish on this one. I don't know why. I've got that feeling that I'll get a river fish on this lure. And another one, a steez popper. Which is your Daiwa product. It's got like that feather, keeps the arse down when it gets wet, so it just sort of sits there, pops along the top there. Really, really cool. This is like a 60 mil, I think, 50 to 60 mil long. Really, really cool. Mark Whitford actually caught a 41 centimeter bass on this very lure of his own that I bought him for Christmas, and so they work. Worth having in the tackle box. I just realised I got a busted hook on this one, so gonna have to change the treble out on that bugger. That's all right. Jackal micro tappy. That's another one. Actually, I want to try and get a trout on this particular lure as well when I get a hot bite one day. just for shits and gigs. But yeah, had multiple hits on one session in this particular lure. Too bad they're all too small to eat it, but these apparently slay the bass and are worth having in the box, hence why I got one. Not the cheapest of lures, these. They're about between $30 and $40. They're pretty dear. So yeah, the hip pocket definitely gets a bit of pain with this sort of purchasing. On the opposite end of that trend is this lovely value for money atomic cicada. Caught a few EPs on this lure as well, actually, but yeah, worth having one of these in the box just as a hard shell cicada. Good little paddling action on them. Most of the time when you're using these, you're just sitting them in one spot and you're just sort of jiggling them, so they just do this on the water, create them little ripples, little vibrations on the top of the water, and the bass just hammer them. So yeah, atomic cicada. Bass Day Sugar Pen, that's another one. More of a walker style lure. Again, EPs, bass, absolutely mince these things. They love them. Sort of look like a little shrimp or a prawn or a bait fish skipping along the top of the water there. Just awesome. And these cast an absolute mile. Like when I first cast this thing, I nearly lost it in a tree because I got that far. I didn't realize they cast that far. So yeah, really awesome. Most highest performing lure, surface lure anyway, on my ventures to Bluerock recently have been the tiemco soft shell. Wow, tiemco soft shell cicada. So this one here is the one I've been getting the fish on. This is a new one I bought just to I'll give some contrast in body color, and also just as a spare for when I'm either fishing with cousins and things like that, as I like to do. And so I can both use one because these are just a producer for me. So yeah, absolutely love these things. They are crazy cool. Absolutely awesome. Again, I think something about the way they land on the water, they're like a little bit softer than a hard body lure. They land, they make a different noise. And yeah, you just sit there, they just sit there doing this on the top of the water. You're not even paddling them like a paddler. They just sort of sit there, and then fish sort of sees that silhouette on the top, which looks just like a cicada. Bang, see you later. Your dinner. Oh, it's not. You got hooks in you. Anyway, I'm prattling on. Grand finale in terms of lures in the tackle box is obviously a chatterbaits. I absolutely love the chatterbait bite. This isn't the one that I've been catching the fish on, but this is another color. This is a hell yeah chatterbait, the finesse type. And yeah, this has been the producer of the largest fish in Bluerock for me. This actual, not this particular color, but this lure. And it's amazing. So yeah, they got like a swiveling EWG style. I'm right on that weedless style at the moment. Just make it easier for yourself. Pull it through the cover reasonably well without getting snagged all the time, and they find fish and they absolutely get hammered. So yeah, again, another point I'll make on these is they tend to weed out a couple of the smaller bites I've found. The smaller fish will sort of grab it and they won't hook up nearly as easily on these lures, and and you tend to get more of the bigger ones sticking. So all the more reason to have them in the tackle box. So that's that one. This is the one that's done the most miles for me and caught two of my current PBs, including my current one at 44 centimeters. I'll leave links to videos with regards to these captures up in the screen above. This is actually running a new trailer. I've cut down a 4-inch Berkeley T-tail with that one. It had a similar coloured plastic that I got with the hell yeahs on there. So yeah, worth looking at those. I'll leave links down in the description of this video where you can find hell yeah chatterbaits. Also all of this other tackle. There will be some affiliate links in there as well, guys. So if you're feeling like helping the channel out and helping it grow, help me fund doing more trips and getting more content for you guys, check them out as well. Really appreciate it if you've got the time to support and the cash to support as well. So appreciate that, guys. Now, a quick brief run over the reels and rods and stuff like that. I've already done a couple of first look videos for these. The Dobbins Fury FR703C 4 to 7 kilo is the all-purpose and jig rod. So yeah, I'm running a Tatula 100H Suffix 832 braid in 20 pound and just a J thread 12 pound leader. I may upsize that leader size soon enough with something a little bit more beefy if I start getting dusted by fish, but 12 pound seems to be working for me at the moment. Newest edition, which I haven't got out yet, is a 2 to 4 6'6" one-piece spin Dobbins Fury as well. So what's that? FR661SF is the model. Little bit of a stiffer tip in this rod. Probably not as nice for surface lures, but I want to get into the jerk baiting thing as well, as I said. So this one will help and afford me to get some action out of those lures and do that jerk bite thing. XL LT 2500. That's just running 8 pound J braid grand on there, and I downsized the leader to a 10 pound J thread. When I'm using the surface lures, it just tends to not be weighed down and affect the action of the lures as much. Because it's a bit more of an all-purpose rod again, I tend to just stay with the fluoro. Just run a shorter leader length, probably like maybe a rod length or something like that. So guys, if you watched through to the end of the video, thank you very much, and I hope you got something out of it at least. And as keen as I am to get back in there and have a crack for some bass, because I mean, I just love it. It's absolutely amazing up in there, and it's nice and close to my parents as well, because they live in that area. So really good. So you'll definitely see a fair few more bass videos from me in there. Now, my tips for Bluerock would be the following. Now, we'll just make a small disclaimer. I mean, I'm not the most experienced fisher, period, bass fisher especially. I've just fished, pretty heavily on the bass this season, and a little bit of last as well. So I'll just sort of share with you what I've had success on, and hopefully you can have some success with that as well if you go out and have a crack, because everyone's, got to have a crack at bass, because they're just so much fun. First thing, people have been asking me where I launched from. Where I started launching from was the boat ramp there at just out of Willow Grove. So you come up in Willow Grove, you turn left, it's about a K or a half a K out of town. Well signed, jump on the boat ramp there. Easiest place to launch. You got pontoons there, you got facilities there, you can park your car, no worries, it's all good. And you will find fish from that place. There is no reason why you can't. They're pretty much, they're stocked in a multitude of different locations, and the boat ramp is one of those, I believe. So, yeah. That first bay off to your left, also across the lake from the boat ramp's about probably a 25-minute, 30-minute paddle. If you've got a bit of wind, might take you a bit longer. You're a little bit tired when you get over there, but once you're sort of around those trees, you can start to relax and start to throw some casts in. So working those edges along those tree lines in the standing timber, sitting sort of a few meters off the bank and casting it like just a slight angle towards the edge. Bringing that lure back through there is how I've nailed most of my fish up into that sort of, I think it's called Spotted Dog Creek. It's a little creek arm that's in there. If you watch one of my earlier videos with Riley Pitts, that creek arm is where Riley got onto a 38 centimetre, which is only 1 centimetre off my PB, right across from the boat ramp. So there's fish there, guys. Just go and find them. They're awesome fun. Yeah. So time of day and how I fish, I've sort of touched on the edge bite there as well. As I mentioned, all of my fish will come from the edge. So I'm always going to fish edges there, unless they're down deep, which I believe would be in winter. So yeah, haven't actually tried that bite yet. Anyways, early morning, rule of thumb, surface lures, jump onto your tiemco softshell cicada or a lonesome sweeper or something like that, a sugar pen. They'll do the job fine. The late morning, middle of the day, as I said, subsurface fishing off the edge, sort of into that few meters off the edge and casting the banks. And late day, again, same again, surface lures the go. With the exception of one session I had, it was pretty much an all-day surface bite. A storm front was running through, and it was overcast. It was just perfect conditions for him to hit top all day. So, and lo and behold, I was there on that day, and it was just amazing to do. So, yeah, real fun. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, if you've got any other questions, if you've missed anything, or if I've missed anything, I should say, hit them down in the comments, guys. I like knowing what you'd like to know and things like that. That's pretty much that. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Just keep flicking.